Hello, this is Ben Geiger, and I interviewed Victoria McBryde, who is the Integrated Marketing Coordinator for the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl via email. So these are the questions that I asked her with her answers. So the first question I asked was, could you give me a brief overview of your job? She responded and said, I am currently the Integrated Marketing Coordinator for the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. I manage our social media and other digital marketing platforms. My primary role is to develop our social strategy and make sure that our digital marketing is integrated with all of our traditional marketing efforts, giving our brand a cohesive voice and vision. After that, I asked her the question, why did you choose to go into the field of sport management? I grew up with a love of football and knew that was where I wanted to be. For me, my primary passion is sports and its greater role in culture and how it affects social movements, how teams' brands represent the cities that they reside in, and how athletes can better their communities. Social media has been the place where many athletes' voices have transformed the landscape of culture, which is why I chose to focus on that aspect of marketing and branding. Third question I asked her was, what has been your career path to get to where you are now? As a student at NC State, I started as a student ambassador and recruiting operations intern with our football team there. I worked my way up through recruiting, operations, and then to communications and marketing. After graduating, I did a year-long internship with the Green Bay Packers with an emphasis on digital strategy. From there, I got my job with the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl in Atlanta. The fourth question I asked her was, what are some things that you do on a daily basis at your job? She said, on a day to day basis, I do several tasks: monitor our social media channels and create social media content, work with our PR and communications team to communicate and coordinate organizational announcements, communicate with marketing departments at different schools who may participate in our bowl game, help plan and promote Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl events, update content on our website, and develop email marketing campaigns. The next question I asked her was, what type of work experience did you have while you went to NC State? She said, as I mentioned in a previous question, I spent all 4 years of college interning with our football program at NC State. I worked closely with our coaches and players, escorting them to media appearances, campus events, and calling them into interviews. In addition, I also worked with our recruiting team in planning and executing official visits for prospective student athletes and managed our social media channels. The next question I asked was, what would you say was your most valuable work experience you had prior to graduation? Her answer was, the variety of experience that I had at NC State was my biggest asset when applying for jobs after graduation. My most valuable experience came from spending time with people in our office and really being willing to learn and pick up new skills. Sorry. The next question I asked was, what is your favorite part about your current job? My favorite part about my current job is that I still get to be immersed in the college football culture without having to work games every weekend. I have the ability to enjoy college football as both a professional and a fan. The next question was, what type of perks come with your job? She said, we often get tickets to sporting events, opportunities to volunteer for large events, such as the Super Bowl in Atlanta, and of course, getting to work with professional athletes and coaches. The next question I asked was, is there much travel that goes along with your job? If so, how often? She responded and said, in this particular role, I don't travel too often, probably 2 to 3 times a year, for donation presentations, college football media days, and to attend games of teams who may play in our bowl game. Uh, I then asked her, what was your major in college, and did you have any minors? She said, my major was communications with a concentration in public relations with a minor in journalism. Then I asked her, what do you like the least about your job? She said, in this role, I miss the team atmosphere and being totally immersed in the hustle and bustle of the football scene. However, the upside to that is I do get to enjoy and relax on the weekend and attend games as a fan. The next question I asked was, if you could go back and do anything differently in your career path, what would it be? She says, I've been happy with the path I've taken, but if I had to do something differently, I'd take some project management courses in college and a few basic graphic design classes. The next question I asked was, what type of experience does your current employer look for when they hire new employees? She says, it depends on the position, so we looked for experience that will directly relate to that person's job description. Primarily, we will look for people who have shown initiative, that are willing to learn new things, and have a background in college football is ideal. Next question was, what is the most difficult part about your job? She said, the most difficult part of my job can be the long hours you have to put in during event week. Working in sport and entertainment often requires you to work holidays, weekends, and long hours, but they're worth it when you're doing what you love. The next question I asked was, what would you recommend I study in college to best prepare me for this field? She said, I think it depends on what area of sports you would like to go into. Sports management is a great degree, but oftentimes not highly specialized. If you know you'd like to be in marketing, for example, I would major in marketing and minor in sport management if that's an option. There are many sectors you can go into, so I'd recommend tailoring your major and class schedule as much as possible to your area of interest. I then asked, is your job seasonal, or would you say that the workload is consistent throughout the year? She said, we host 3 events, so things ramp up during each event period. The bulk of our work is concentrated to football season. The next question I asked was, what's one thing you wish somebody would have told you before going into the field? She said, wins and losses will have a direct effect on your revenue and strategy company-wide. On the field product is the main driver of revenue, but you also have to sell the experience. The next question I asked was, do you feel like your schooling adequately prepared you for the working world? She said, yes, but my experience is where I concentrated most of my time and energy, and that has catapulted my career. Your schoolwork is important because you need to learn those concepts, but applying those concepts in the workplace will set you above and beyond other applicants. My biggest suggestion would be to volunteer at as many events as you can. Take the time to get to know the people around you and really invest your time and energy to actively learning. The next question I asked was, do you think it is beneficial to have some educational background in business also when going into the field of sport management? She said, I think the business background is crucial. A lot of people are sports fans, sport-minded, and understanding of the bottom line is a necessity. Everything we do affects that. At the end of the day, sports is a business. We're all working towards increasing profits of our organization. And the last question that I asked her was, what is the most important piece of advice that you have to being successful in sport management? She said, foster great relationships. More so than any other business, sports is extremely relational industry because it's smaller than most markets. Take the time to just ask people out for coffee, pick their brain, learn what they did that worked for them, but also what they did that didn't work for them. Show that you are passionate and eager. Be genuine when networking. Don't just go around asking for jobs or opportunities, but build meaningful relationships. There are times when opportunities might not present themselves immediately, but they can later on, and each of their relationships you build will be crucial to your success. That is the interview I conducted via email, and thank you for your time.